Ian, firstly, congratulations on a hard-earned 3 points. How did you see the match? You've got the most important view.
Very hard game. Scoreline probably reflects, I felt, our dominance in the first half. Second half slightly different. They've got nothing to lose at 2-0. Game gets a bit ragged at that point. It's important that we manage the game, which we've done. Jamie's not a save in the game, but given him a couple of wee half chances, that was it. But overall, I felt our first half performance was excellent. It really was. It was a continuation of last week's first half. Today we were more ruthless. Obviously with our high press we managed to get the ball back, and Eden scores a wonderful goal and Hammer obviously follows it up, but it comes out of nothing. It comes out of being a nuisance to the centre halves, winning a free kick, and then 2-0 half time. We have to, at that point, we know, and as Cove Rangers knew, the next goal is really important. If there was going to be one, we didn't need to score any more at that point. We'd love to go forward and score 5, 6, 7, and sometimes that happens, but other days it's about being solid at the back, managing the game out. We had a left back in at centre half, so we had to be wary of that. We had Big Connor, who had a tight groin area at the time as well, so I wouldn't say it was a makeshift defence, but with Ryan pulling out yesterday, we had to change our approach to the game. And I thought the boys adapted brilliantly well, and I think I'll praise Jamie McDonald in the way he handles situations. He's a very experienced goalkeeper, and it comes from him, and it goes right through the team.
It's one of those games where I could probably pick any of your squad today and ask for comment, because the contribution across the park was key. Jamie, we mentioned certainly in commentary that he has an unflappability, that when there's bodies throwing themselves at the ball round about it, he never loses his calm. Is that something that you feel is kind of seeping into the team?
Absolutely, it's a team game, and we can't carry anybody in this game. I felt last week, as well as we played at times, we carried a few players. I mean, you can't do that. It's very difficult to win games when you're carrying so many guys. There's now pressure on players to perform well, because we look at our bench and we see today the players that didn't get on, who now need to fight for their place in this team, and we need players that are in the team to fight for the right to keep their place. Because I thought Kieran came in today at left back and was excellent, really, really good. He's now put pressure on players, and we need that throughout the team. But to go back to Jamie, he is unflappable. He really is, but he demands as well. He's quite quiet in the way he goes about it, but you don't want to be a centre half in front of him not doing your job, because he'll let you know about it. But today I thought, again, didn't have a lot to do, but what he'd done was very good.
As an interviewer and as a supporter, the obvious place to start is the goals, but I'm going to kind of flip it around and actually focus initially on the clean sheet. A makeshift defence in terms of its different personnel, but obviously they've got great capacity there. Tell us about their performance, and I was particularly drawn today to the fullbacks and the contribution they made. Ross Milne playing much higher up the park. I thought he's delivering to the box. I'm particularly interested in what your view is with
I thought the back four were excellent, including Jamie in that, and the two in the front as well. Just really solid, and that's what you need from your back players. If we can get a little bit more going forward, great. We kind of fought all week. Decided what we're going to do in terms of dropping off the game or going for the high press. Probably didn't decide really till yesterday that we would go for the high press, just after watching bits of the midweek game that Cove played in. We know they're good enough to play around you, we know that, and we know at times they will get out. We understand it's about knowing what to do when they do get out, because they will. It happens to every team, and it's also about knowing when to press, and it comes from the defence and the midfielders to the strikers. And I think when we were so clear today in what we were doing, it was very difficult for Cove Rangers. We knew exactly what to do when they had the ball deep, we knew exactly what to do when they had the ball high, which it's I wouldn't say underrated quality for a team to have, but the understanding needs to be there from players, and they're getting there slowly. And results have been a wee bit up and down at times, but that's going to happen. And I pointed out to players today, this is a club that only won 12 games last season. This isn't a team that won 20, 22, 25 games. So we're now 4 games, we've made 33% on that already. Now it's about, can we catch the 12 and then can we overtake the 12? It's about progress. It sometimes takes a long time in small blocks. If we can get to that 12 game win and then turn those 1-0 defeats or 2-1 defeats that we've had into draws, then we'll be okay. But we need to be ruthless in both boxes, and today we were.
You spoke in recent weeks about fine margins. We look back at last week and how close Sam came with his strike that hits a post. We get the early goal today. Are fine margins also kind of judged by way of things like decision making and being ruthless at the right times? In that respect, could your team have offered any more today?
I don't think so. I think second half, like I said, went ragged for both teams. Formation for them kind of went out the window a little bit, which causes us problems. The game is decided on fine moments. If you look at the second goal as an example with Hammer, 1-0 to 2-0 half time is a completely different ball game, and then second half they peppered us a little bit in our goal, and we score. It's probably the only real opportunity we had in the second half, inside the first 80 minutes anyway. But again, it comes from making forward runs. I kept saying to Sam, and Sam scored 1 goal last year, and now he scored 2. It's about, Sam is a very good footballer and he needs to believe in himself a little bit more, but he's got undoubted ability and he's a handful when he runs forward. So I was really pleased with our energy today, our tempo today, and the way that we finished off our goals.
And a lot more flexibility for yourself, being able to play Sam that bit further forward, because you know you've got players that can do that holding role and have done it across their whole careers. Yeah,
we've now got potentially 4 players vying for 2 positions, and being able to move Sam up one, which I think he's more than capable of, is a luxury for us, because he's so good on the ball that we do like him to try and dictate. But again, it's about getting your good players on the ball high up the park. I felt last week we maybe threw Sam into the 10 position a wee bit blinded. You know, it wasn't our plan to do that, but he was influencing the game so much, and we needed better quality going forward that we tried to do that. We maybe took a wee bit away from him just by chucking him in there. So we made sure he had plenty of notice this week, and where he was playing, he was absolutely receptive to it as well, which is key. And he knows what he's doing. He's so good at getting the ball back, and he shows great quality. And you know, when you've got Hammer and Sam who've played together a long time now, a couple of years, then they've got that sort of relationship. And I think we saw Hammer as well, his movement just a few yards extra today caused the 2 centre halves a lot of problems.
The free kick that Jamie wins for the goal, was just speaking to him off camera there. It's quite an interesting one, because he said, I was saying I was expecting either Ethan Ross or maybe Aidan to be the ones that take it. He says, no, I earned it. And he says, I scored one from there in training, and I just visualised the moment. And so what he's kind of saying off camera is the camaraderie of the team meant that the 2 players we would have expected to take it. It says, you go for it.
Yeah, I think it was a right footer's free kick as well, and we know when Hammer catches him right, you know, he's got a good chance of scoring. But again, it does come from the team understanding each other, and it's one thing I'll give them huge plaudits for. Never at any moment since I've come in have I seen people with their head down and doom and gloom. They're smiling away, which is a huge part of enjoying your working environment. You have to be smiling, and you have to look forward to the crunch times, which is a Saturday afternoon for us all. So you know, we'll take the win and we'll take the performance, but we need to build on it, and we need to remain calm and composed and focused on the next game, because we go down to Morton now against a good solid championship team coming off the back of a great win.
We know this league's unforgiving, but you've certainly been masters of your own fate today, so congratulations on the 3 points, and we'll catch up with you through the week.
Thank you. Thanks, Davey.